Welcome. I go by SRES. Today's video, we're just going to take a look at like the first 5 minutes of Creatures of Aether. You may be wondering whether or not you want to get the game, what it's like. We're just going to take a look at the first 5 minutes here, and hopefully you get a good idea of what this game is about. When you select that you're a new user, you are presented with some tutorials. It's 2 lessons, each of which has 3 parts. For the purposes of this video, so that it's not super long, I'm going to be skipping over all of the tutorial text. But the tutorial text will tell you how to play the game and give you everything you need to know to clear these lessons. There are a few bugs in this tutorial. You'll see a couple new line characters, and there's, I believe, one instance of a card number that doesn't quite match up. There was a recent balance patch and they changed some card number values, so there's one card that used to take the card to the right and it no longer does. It's not a big deal. This tutorial is really just here to get you familiar with the mechanics and playing the game. Games are against other people, played on 4x4 grids, so the tutorial operates in smaller grids, and really the game just whoever has more cards captured at the end of the game wins. You also get these rewards for playing through the tutorial. This constitutes sort of your starting card pool, which you'll use to build decks, and we can get to that later. So the next section of the tutorial, the first is just basic flipping cards. The next section is about elemental tiles. There's 4 elements in the game: air, earth, fire, water. If you play a card on a matching element, that card will gain the number listed to all of its stats, right? So that gets a +1, and this is the card that I was talking about. It used to have a 2 on the right, and it would become a 3, take this card, but the tutorial still registers that we put the right card in the right spot. This is the last part of the tutorial, in which you play against Maple, and this fight isn't particularly too difficult. You very well can lose it once or twice. Oh gosh. This happens from time to time on the emulator. The game will slow down. But it's a great time to talk about the game's save state features. This game is really good with save states. So obviously you don't want to just quit out and reload the game for player versus player battles, but anytime you're not playing against a player, there's a save state system in place, so you can just close the game, do something else, open a different app, and you'll get right back to where you were. And again, that slowdown issue is like a known beta thing on BlueStacks, because I'm playing this on my computer. It has never actually happened to me on my phone. Might have happened to some users, but anyway, as I was saying, so in this fight, Maple will play on every other tile except for these elemental tiles. That's kind of too bad. I mean, we should be fine. Again, this is meant to be pretty easy. It's meant to be a simple fight, and the key to it really is just if you play on the elemental tiles, you'll generally be fine. So this one gives you quite a big reward. It's just going to give you like a starting pack of in-game resources, cards, and stuff. Before I mentioned common rare and epic, so these blue bordered cards, those are rare cards, and purple ones, that's an epic card. And there's only one other kind of card, and that's legendary, which have the yellow, I guess yellow and blue borders here, or just on the actual card itself, just got a yellow golden. For the purpose of keeping this video short, I'm not going to dive into these tutorials. We'll talk about how each rival works later in a different video. Just know that Zetterburn is probably the simplest rival. He's the easiest to play, most straightforward. Orcane's a little bit more difficult than that. Maple's a little bit more difficult than Orcane, and I'd rank Absa as the most difficult to play, but with the biggest payoff potential. For this account, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to select Orcane. But again, when you're playing through this yourself, if you get to this point, I really do recommend you play through each of these tutorials. So you select a rival. You're prompted to make an account at this point. You can use your email address, username, password, re-enter a password, and then you're in the game. It's pretty quick, pretty simple. I want to keep this video short and just give you a first 5-minute look at the game. Thanks for watching. Until next time.